I have some takes for the draft recap winners and
Oh,
losers.
very good. Very
I can
good.
talk.
Because I,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't have any takes.
I don't have any takes either. It
Oh,
might be
really?
the
Okay.
Lemoyne show.
Yeah, yeah. It's all you, Lemoyne. You got to carry the show. Hello and welcome to Dynasty and the Finest Tea, the official podcast of the Losing 15 Dynasty Fantasy Football League. I'm your host, Lou, and with me, as always, is our co-host, Caldwell. What's going on, Caldwell?
Hey, how's it going, Lou?
And we have a special guest with us today. It's Lemoyne, our co-commissioner of the league and fantasy player extraordinaire. What's going on, Lemoyne?
Living the dream. Three kids, including a 12-day-old who is not sleeping very well. So that's the
Oh
Mm,
American dream.
no.
that's right. Hey, is this a pod Dynasty Finest exclusive?
Oh, it is a Dynasty
A
exclusive.
new baby,
Yeah, new baby. Yeah, Gabriel George. Doing
Gabriel
well.
George. GG. Good
You
name.
heard it here
GG.
first, guys. Probably not, but still, you heard it here first.
Exclusive. All right. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to talk about our annual rookie draft from 2026. Very exciting. And also trades galore. We had many trades this year that we're going to dive into. But before that, what tea are you guys drinking? Caldwell, let's start with you.
Oh man. Well, I've have another Vita Pour tea.
Oh, classic.
It's the tea shop in Greensboro. It's lavender rose vanilla.
Oh.
I thought I oversteeped it again, but I did not. It's very
Ah,
tasty.
yeah, sounds like a
And look,
great nighttime tea.
and this is a mug from our
Was that
family reunion.
a new mug? Oh, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to read that out. You're
Uh,
gonna have to read
it
that out for our audio only listeners.
it just says Charleston, South Carolina, Bonham family reunion.
Bonham?
Yeah.
That's not your family.
That's
Oh
my
yeah.
dad's mom.
Did you go to the wrong family reunion? Lemoyne, what are you drinking?
I've got Kirkland Signature Organic Kombucha with
Oh,
it's the ginger lemonade flavor. Highly recommend. It's like $10 for a 8 pack. So I go
wow.
through a couple
Oh
of these
man.
a week.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Good for the tummy. The
Yeah.
kombucha. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are my favorite. The ginger are my favorite
hmm
kombuchas.
Mm. Mm. And
So,
I am drinking a Spice Dragon Red Chai. Look at that.
oh, how's
Yeah.
that?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. Well, let's get into the meat of the podcast. Draft recap. Exciting rookie draft, filled with winners and losers. Not the deepest draft class, but some interesting players at the top. So just to recap, here's the draft order for this year. Rohit had the number one overall pick, followed by Chelsea, then Lemoyne, Caldwell, Allen, me, Tirth, Will, Greg, and our league champion, Enema.
Chelsea had a few extra picks in there. She had a whopping 9 picks.
Nine
So
picks
she,
and
so
three
she,
in the first round.
yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot
Quite
that.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had the number two overall, number four overall, and number six overall. That's crazy. For my money, I feel like Chelsea is probably the winner just by that fact.
I would agree with that. That was it. It was a great draft for her in terms of numbers. I thought she ended up getting, two of the probably top three wide receivers. Um, I thought I would have liked to see her pick up Mendoza. I thought she was going to pick up Mendoza
Mm.
uh, with one of her first two, but Lemoyne, you ruined that for her.
It's funny because I went back and forth all off season about who I preferred to get at pick three, Mendoza or Tate. And for most of the year, I really wanted Mendoza to fall to me. I kept mock drafting, and he never ever fell to me. I did
Oh,
24
interesting.
mock drafts, and every single time the number two pick took Mendoza, and so I was fully expecting to get Tate at number three. But towards the end, as we got closer to the draft, I was starting to get excited about Tate as my first pick and as someone who will help me this year, and it did end up working out. But speaking as someone who was drafting right after Chelsea consistently, she was consistently sniping my picks, and so I have to say,
Mm.
I think she did a pretty great job. And
Oh, she did all the same mock drafts as you.
apparently, yeah, or we were working on the
She
same
did, she did,
rankings.
she did 25 mock drafts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she really reset at every position. I mean, quarterback, she even got Carson Beck, who I think is
Hmm.
likely to play some games this year. We'll see if he can hold on to the job. But she's got Stowers at tight end. She's got two new wide receivers, as you mentioned. She got Price at running back, and then Claiborne. That was probably the pick that upset me the most because he was. I almost took him in the third round, but I
Really?
ended up.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's kind of a high risk, high reward pick there, but for a fourth rounder,
Yeah,
I think that's a
it's a
really
good deal.
intriguing pick.
Love, of course, went number one overall to Rohit. And then second overall was Tate. Chelsea drafted Tate. And then Lemoyne drafted Mendoza. Caldwell drafted Tyson. And then Plotzker, Allen, drafted Lemon. So those are the top five
Well, that was
draft picks.
Chelsea drafted Tyson.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Chelsea drafted Tyson for Caldwell. And then Chelsea also had the number six pick, which she used on Price. So quite a solid draft there. So do we all agree? Chelsea looks like probably the winner of this draft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how she like works her roster and uses the taxi squad and how she values the rookies that she got this year, versus the vets on her roster right now. That's going to be the difficult part of having nine rookies to deal with.
If anybody actually qualifies as a vet on her roster, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah. But I thought it was interesting. Both you, Lemoyne and Chelsea, you guys both needed QBs, right? You guys were both in search of QBs. So I was also surprised that she didn't take Mendoza. But Tate, I mean, that's also a great investment. So I don't think I can fault her for that.
Yeah, she might be
Yeah.
looking ahead to next year's class,
QB
which is supposed
class.
to have a
Yeah,
handful of really strong quarterback prospects. And so maybe
that's
her
right.
thought is, to maybe be at the bottom of the league again this year and then take a couple of those rookies next year and restock.
Yeah, that's right. Tank for Arch. Very good. All right. What about losers? Huh?
Well, I had one more winner if I could talk about it.
Oh
This
yeah,
kind of
please.
works in a little bit with the trades, but I thought Allen's maneuvering and getting Singleton in the second round via
Mm,
Rohit was a pretty solid move. I actually thought he might take Singleton with his own second round pick, but getting him, I think, is probably one of the last running backs in the class you feel confident is going to have a starting job in the next couple of years. So I think that was a really good pick. And then
hmm
his arbitrage play for Malik Neighbors seems like it's going to pay off sooner rather than later, with the news that he avoided the pup and is moving well in camp. And so, I think if there was a second winner in the draft, probably Allen. In addition to that move, he also took a number of really, I think, highly regarded receiver prospects. Although
hmm
RIP to Chris Brazel,
mm,
with the season-ending PCL injury.
right,
20,
right.
2027 is going to be his year. We're going to have to watch out for Allen.
Yeah, he took
Brazil was
Brazel.
looking good in camp.
He took
Uh,
somehow got Brazel in the third round, even though he picked Raft or Caldwell. Very
I,
surprising. Very surprising.
it's not
Caldwell knew.
surprising.
Caldwell knew.
I have to balance out my roster. I can only have a certain number.
But you're gonna probably trade like a second round pick for Brazel in the future. I can see it.
Uh, it could happen. It could
Hmm.
happen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
now's your buy low opportunity if you're
Oh, that's
trying to.
right.
Oh, I can put him on the taxi squad too if I get him now.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Allen, I'll take him for two fab.
$21 some fab? Hmm?
That's too much.
$21?
That's too much.
That's
Uh,
it's a perfect amount of fab.
yeah, I agree that the neighbors get for Allen was that was that's going to be good for this year,
Hmm.
and probably years to come.
Yeah, one gripe I have, I picked Raptor Allen. One gripe I have is that he picked Raridon in the fifth round, who is exactly who I was targeting in the fifth round. So I was pretty upset about that, even though he has like six other tight end on his
Yeah,
roster already.
you
I
sent a
don't
passive aggressive
I don't understand.
message.
I don't understand. I don't understand what he's trying to build. We only have one tight end spot. All right.
Yeah, Allen likes to hog the tight ends. He wouldn't
He
let
does. He
me
wants a
trade
monopoly
for
on the tight ends.
Well, he turned
Jatavion
two of them into
Sanders.
Malik Neighbors, so it seems like his strategy is working.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
that's true.
Well, before we dive into that trade, How about some losers? What do you guys think? Any losers from this draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to not look at Anima taking Kalen Black in the first round. I know he's a 49ers homer, but I think
Mm-hmm.
he would have been there in the second round or maybe even later for him. And then he just kind of auto drafted the rest of the draft and missed out on probably the biggest riser this year on the offseason, Juwan Stribling. So yeah, I would have
That was
been okay
surprising.
with that. Yeah, if he'd put Stribling in the queue and went all 49ers with his first two picks.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think the auto draft, yeah, I was a little disappointed in how that worked out for him.
I agree. I agree. I can't believe he didn't take Stripling first in the first round and then Black in the second round. Caldwell, any thoughts?
I don't know that I really have any losers.
No? You sure?
Everyone's a
Uh,
winner this time of year.
Tierth? What about Tierth?
Tears.
Kenyon Static?
Let me look at
Static?
Tears.
Huh?
No, 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 no. Because New York is on an upswing. So
Oh,
this
the
is
Jets.
Mamdani's New York. So
Oh,
you have to
wait.
watch out for all the New York, the Jets, the Giants.
Mm,
That's why Neighbors is that's why Neighbors was such a good get. And then
mm,
Sadiq, I think I missed out on
mm.
Mamdani's New York. So
Well, let's talk about that neighbors trade. That was the biggest trade of the year so far.
that was yeah, that was
I think we can
a
all
big
agree.
trade.
So that
Yeah.
this was just a recap for those who are listening. The trade was between Allen and Rohit. Allen gave up Bo Nix, Sanders, and Fannin, two tight ends, for Malik Neighbors and the 2026 second round pick, who he turned into Singleton. Right off the bat, what do you guys think? Was this a pretty even trade?
Yeah, I think it's pretty even. Maybe slightly favoring Rohit long term. Um, but with
Mm,
Neighbors, potentially playing this year, I think that's a really good trade for Allen, who has a roster that can contend this year. So overall, pretty balanced. And I thought the use of Fab in this trade was very interesting, and it's the first time we've had a trade of this nature.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
I forgot to mention. Yeah, also as part of the trade, Rohit got $20 in Fab from
Yeah.
Allen. I thought that was interesting, given who's out there, who's available on the waiver wire. Huh?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with the first waiver.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think at the time of the draft, I don't think we knew what we know now about how healthy Neighbors looks. Is that right? So
yeah.
I think it was definitely more of a kind of leap of faith for Allen. So it looks different now that I think than it did then, at least to me.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I think from
because
Allen's perspective, I think, like we mentioned earlier, he already has like six tight ends on his roster. So giving up two isn't a huge loss. They weren't starting for him anyways. Although Fannin, I'm not sure if he was starting Fannin. And then Bo Nix was also sort of an extra QB he had, who he wasn't
San
starting. I think Bo
Sanders
Nix
he was
was.
only keeping despite me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I think Bo Nix was actually on his taxi squad the entirety of last year.
Oh wow, I forgot. I didn't know that.
So it wasn't a huge investment in terms of Allen's lineup. It doesn't really affect his lineup too much. So I thought it was a pretty good trade overall. This is definitely one of those trades where both sides can be winners. So
Yeah.
kudos to you guys, Rohit and Allen. Very nice trade.
Yeah, and I think Rohit really addresses his two major weaknesses in QB and tight end. He's really just going into the year with one QB, and so I think his roster is in contention to make the playoffs even this year, despite basically taking completely last year. I think he's restocked pretty quickly here,
Hmm.
so really impressed at the pace of his rebuild.
Hmm. Well, getting Bijan Robinson definitely helps a lot with that. I will just add that this trade I think was largely made possible through a decision that I made, which is and I'm taking credit for this, which is that we eliminated the grace period for trades, right? No review period. So this trade occurred while Rohit was on the clock, and he ended up trading that pick to Allen. So I take full credit for this beautiful trade. Yeah.
Where's your
It was all,
commission?
all my idea. Exactly. Yeah, I need the yeah, I need
25 fab.
$11 of those 20 fab. $20 in
Yeah,
Fab.
yeah, yeah.
Well, let's get to the trade that occurred before the draft even started. This one's between our very own Lemoyne and Chelsea. This one surprised me. Lemoyne gave up Jacoby Krosky-Merritt, Bill, and his 2027 third round pick for Matt Stafford from Chelsea.
Yeah, what surprised you about the trade?
Well, I was surprised at how much he gave up for Stafford. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I think Stafford's obviously a great player and he'll probably have a very, very good year, but it's a very short-term gain. So I was a little surprised that it took a pick and a pretty good, seemingly pretty good prospect in Bill.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, just looking at my roster, it's definitely a roster I think can contend this year. I would argue had Burrow not been injured last year, I certainly would
Mm,
have made the playoffs. But I thought I had a pretty strong roster last year. A couple of emerging talents at receiver in um, Luther Burden and Michael Wilson. And so even though my wide receivers don't seem good on paper today, I think this time next year I could have, a couple of top receivers. And so I know that quarterback was by far my biggest weakness with Penix, potentially losing his job,
hmm
aging Aaron Rodgers. And so I had to do something at quarterback or just kind of sell off my aging running back assets. And so I didn't want to trade away too many of my picks for next year. Um, but I thought for a 1 year rental of Stafford, maybe I value him a little bit more than others. I see him as
hmm
a top 10 at least, if not top five quarterback for this year to help me make a run. And I don't feel like I gave any assets away that I couldn't afford to lose. So
hmm
on the other hand, Chelsea's rebuilding her running backs and obviously had tons of picks for this coming year, and so I knew a pick this year probably wasn't going to do very much. The trade calculator I used did have it sort of slightly in Chelsea's favor, but I think for me wanting to make sure I can contend this year, it was a sacrifice I was willing to make.
Has Stafford given any indication on how many more years he's going to play?
It could just be this year. I mean, he got a 1 year, like I think it's $60 million extension or
Yeah.
something. So, I mean, you'll get a lot of money to play next year if he wants to. But I think if he wins the Super Bowl this year,
Mm.
I would expect he would retire. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely seems like he's year to year at this point.
Yeah. You never know though, and I
You
feel
never know.
like
Yeah, he could play till he's
those
40.
guys. Yeah. Well, how old is he?
Yeah.
He's almost
Well,
40, isn't
he's
he?
like 37, I think.
Is he?
Lemoyne,
yeah,
See.
it's 37, 38. Yeah, he's up
37.
there.
Yeah, 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 and I think I think an elite or near elite quarterback is pretty hard to you know
hmm
to get.
It's definitely hard to come by
So
in our league. The waiver wire,
so
well, besides one person, we don't need to mention, is
yeah,
pretty barren in terms of QBs.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think if this is an all-in move, Lemoyne, I think this is a pretty good move.
Well, I mean, the other option was to spend $100 on Malik Willis, which, knowing what I know now, I'm glad I didn't
Yep,
go that route because I would
Yeah,
be kind of SOL right now. So,
that's true. Although, if you want $21 in Fab, Lemoyne, just let me know.
22. He needs
21,
22.
22.
Wait, was it 20 or
Oh,
21?
Rohit got 20.
20. Okay,
Yeah.
21.
21. That's all you
Okay,
need.
well, okay,
We'll
okay.
have to make the trade right before Wednesday midnight so that Rohit doesn't see it and get
Wait,
another
wait,
dollar.
wait. No, no, no.
oh, it's
Wait. This is
collusion,
this is
collusion.
collusion. Yeah,
No, no, no. This is gonna go out.
just
Everybody's gonna hear
strategizing.
this. It's
I
okay.
don't know. I'm
It's
gonna.
not done in secrecy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's got to go out soon.
All
That'll
right.
be it.
Well, let's move on to the latest, the third trade, the one that happened after the draft. The latest trade. This one caused a little commotion in the chat section, I would say, on Sleeper. This one's between Chelsea and Greg, who I believe also made a trade last year. That raised a couple eyebrows, maybe. Chelsea gave up Jalen Hurts to get Kenneth Walker. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and this one surprised me a little bit on both sides. I think in a vacuum, um, you know, maybe slightly favors Greg, but Kenneth Walker is someone I think has a chance to be a top 5 running back this year, and so
Hmm.
Greg, his roster is so stacked, and he's looking for difference makers, and thought Walker could have been that for him this year. And on the flip side, his quarterback depth is actually really good.
Hmm.
And so I'm kind of thinking about the Jaylen Brown trade a little bit with the Celtics, and kind of wondering, is there a second trade that's coming here that's gonna
Oh.
make this make sense? Because he has a ton of depth at quarterback, and can only play two of them. So I mean, I think Jalen Hurts' value, he probably could get a strong running back from someone else, but I think in the absence of that trade, I feel like it gives everyone else in the league a slightly better chance. Um, Weakens himself at running back.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I also was surprised, not because I think this is too lopsided or anything. I thought it was more or less even, favors Greg maybe a little bit. But I was surprised because while Greg was down in the dumps in terms of QB at this point last year, I think he only had Lamar Jackson and someone else. I don't
Dak
remember off the top.
Prescott.
And Dak Prescott. Now he has five starting QBs in Tyler Shook, Daniel Jones, and now Jalen Hurts. So I didn't think he really needed Jalen. But obviously Jalen Hurts is an upgrade over, over the likes of probably Tyler Shough and also Daniel Jones. So it definitely helps this team out a little bit. Yeah, but giving up Kenneth Walker for that was yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Hurts to me feels like a quarterback that like, week after week, like he can get you what you need and exceed what you need, but he can also have those weeks where things are just kind of down. And
Mm. That was definitely their
like
offense last year.
and and I don't know, like for me, if you know, sometimes when you have like that sort of situation, it's like, well, can I get something for this player that's more steady? And maybe that was what Chelsea was thinking. Like Hurts is one of those top QBs that definitely can put you over the top, but has
Mm-hmm.
those stinkers sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is some uncertainty in his future in Philadelphia. There's been, murmurs of maybe he's not their long-term solution there, and they're going to move off of him sooner rather than later. But the guy's won a Super Bowl. He's proved people wrong year after year, and so, but people
Yeah.
still continue to doubt him. And so, I think, likely even if he moves on from Philadelphia, it's hard to think that there are 31 other quarterbacks that um, are better than him.
Right,
Um,
for sure. And the
Yeah.
tush push still legal. All right. Season outlook. Do you think Enema's gonna repeat this year as champion?
I think it's unlikely. I mean, he's got to have Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey stay healthy for the whole season, I think, to really be in contention. Might see a boost from Lawrence this year, but I think it'd be hard for him. He basically had to have the perfect confluence of events, with Lawrence and Henry having a strong postseason to win last year. I think it's really Greg's season to win or lose.
I definitely
Yeah.
agree with that. Greg's team looked like a bunch of supermen. It was
Yeah.
also his season to lose last year, but then Enema came out of nowhere in the playoffs and scored 180 points every game, every week, which is incredible. Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think, Caldwell?
And Emma's got to deal with the substation. So I
That's
think
right.
it's
Yeah.
and looking at Greg's team, it's hard to believe that there was a point in time last year that he was didn't have a lot of quarterback depth
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you already said it, but he has five starting quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say, like he has, I think I said like probably three top five, like one top 10, and probably one top 15. So Greg, give me some quarterbacks.
Mm. Yeah, like Lemoyne said, maybe that's part of his plan. He's gonna turn one of the quarterbacks into something else that's gonna help him out uh in this year for the repeat.
But who has a roster that might rival Greg's right now,
That's the question. That's the question.
other
It's
than
hard to
mine?
say. Uh, Outside of Greg, it seems like a giant toss-up to me. I think Will's team was definitely good last year. I think he's in need of some quarterback help this year
Yeah,
though,
his quarterback
especially with
depth is not
Mahomes
great. Yeah.
questionable for week one. Outside of that, Allen, I think, is our year one league winner. He's a perennial contender. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard
Yeah,
to say. I think it's
With the
Greg's to
addition of
lose.
neighbors, you know.
Alan,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I feel like I have a pretty good shot this year, but it's interesting to
That's
hear
right.
your
That's right.
comments. I mean, I need a couple things to happen. I need Luther Burden to be the truth, and I need Brian Thomas Jr. to remember he's a top 10 receiver again. And then yeah, I think if those two things happen, I've got a decent shot. I've got some good depth too, but
Hmm.
I'm sorely lacking in superstars, and my top running backs are aging, so I need them to stay healthy and put up their best seasons this year.
That's right. You have Saquon and who else?
Josh Jacobs, Chase
Josh
Brown,
Jacobs
and then I've got
and
the
Chase Brown.
the
Okay, that's
yeah,
pretty good.
Camp Scadaboo, who's going to be good for
Mm.
me this year too. So
Hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
man, hopefully,
Yeah,
if he
you do
ma
have a very good team.
if he makes it to the season,
Oh yeah, if he doesn't do any more backflips.
yeah. You know, Dynasty has been kind of interesting because, like, with the larger roster than redraft, it feels like you have good depth, but it's those superstars that you have to have
Mm. Hmm.
to kind of keep you at the top of the league.
They're the real
Um,
difference makers.
yeah, and right now it seems like Greg, you know, with us being a super flex league, with the quarterback depth that he has and the quarterback superstars that he has, you know, it seems like he's starting out kind of ahead of the
Hmm.
gate.
Hmm.
One more thing for all the listeners, there were no listen up lose submissions for this episode,
Mm. Good.
but
Good.
we welcome submissions from league members and just viewers and listeners as well. So please send those in at any time.
Hmm. Hmm. Look, I'm a man of the people, so I always have my ears open. I hear these things. We don't have to do it through the podcast. I hear everything.
But the audience wants to hear. The audience needs
Ah, I
to hear.
see.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
Well, I think that's it for today, right,
Is
Lou?
that it?
I think
Lemoyne,
so.
anything else you wanted to share? Anything else to add?
if you want any of my bench players, I'll take a dollar or two in Fab. I just want to bid up Rohit a little bit for Malik Willis.
Oh,
So
you
if
want to
you
make
want to,
sure
yeah,
Oh man.
For Malik Willis, you want to make sure he
yeah.
spends all $120 of his fab.
That's the goal. So if there's anyone on my bench that interests you, you have until 20 sorry till Wednesday, and then I'm probably dropping some players you don't want who you'll pick up for free on the waiver wire. So, but if you want to give me some money instead, that'd be great.
Mm,
That means we
mm.
have to get this episode edited and out quickly.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
almost
right.
definitely not going to happen.
We can try.
We'll try to get this out before the season starts.
Hi, this is Lemoyne, co-host of the Around the Lake podcast, bringing you the most in-depth and take-driven analysis of Lemoyne's other league that you don't care about. Check us out on YouTube and don't forget to like and subscribe.
All right, that's it for this episode, everyone. We'd like to thank our special guest, Lemoyne, our sponsor, Scientific, and
Mm,
all our league mates here at Wasm 15 Dynasty. Dynasty and the Finest Tea is produced by GBG Productions. Our theme music is Happy Rock by Benjamin Tissot. Want more episodes? You can find us now on YouTube and YouTube Music. You can
mm.
also follow us on Instagram at Wasm15 Dynasty and use the hashtag Dynasty Finest Tea. Join us next week where we'll be interviewing perennial draft loser, Tirth.
Mm. Yeah, maybe,
Wait,
maybe.
I just read the the cue card. I just
Sure,
read the
sure.
script. Sorry, Tirth.
All right, thanks for listening, guys.
See you
Catch you
guys.
later. That's what this podcast should be. No more than 15 minutes.
He said 20 at first.
Yeah, okay. I did realistically no more than 20.